Just a second. Okay, what is up, guys? My name is Pocketcraft, and welcome back to our Cobblemon 100 Days Hardcore Nuzlocke Challenge. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Thanks for being here, Ethan, everybody else who's in. We've got an exciting day planned today. We've got kind of a lot going on. We finally finished our challenge from the Wheel of Doom. It's day 30 now, and we have all sorts of things that we could do. First things first, looking at our team here, we're doing pretty well, but I think I want to switch out some of our Pokemon with Pokemon from the PC. Then we've got a few Pokemon we need to go and catch that we've left in boats. And then we'll hopefully be able to take on Team Rocket Archer today, who's the next boss in the Cobblemon Radical Trainers mod. And then we'll also hopefully be able to go in, finish this house maybe if we have time. First things first, though, actually, I do think we need to build a storage system because we are way too full on our storage here. So I think I'm going to go and exchange our Pokemon with the ones we want to train for, and then we'll go for it. Excited that you guys could be here. IDK, thanks for being here. Ethan, Kat, thanks for all tuning in. Glad you could make it from work this time. That's super exciting. We'll put some of our more rare items in here, and then we're going to go through and start getting the things that we need. I don't know that we need our shovels with us yet, but we're going to have to craft those together to combine mending and unbreaking would be pretty sweet. And we'll be careful with our fortune pick here. We don't want to break that. We'll put our iron in to start smelting that we gathered. And then let's go decide on our final team. I think that's going to be one of the tricky things to go for. So we'll want to combine probably two strategies here as we train Pokemon to save time. Cody, thanks for tuning in as well. Glad you're here. Oops, there we go. So the main thing that I'm thinking about is we're going to train for Archer, but then pretty soon after Archer, we'll be fighting Misty. So I want to level up Pokemon that'll hopefully be helpful against both of them. We just caught a Sandile, and I think Ground, while not very good against Misty, is going to be pretty helpful against Archer, if I remember right from looking at his team. And I probably should have looked at his team again before today's episode, but I didn't, so there may be some surprises there. I should have looked it up to prepare more. But I think we should be all right. I'm hoping he won't be too difficult. But also that's what I thought about Brock, and we all know how that ended. But we're finally going to get more into some training this episode, which I'm pretty excited about. Let me know. There's a poll here that you guys have probably seen and voted on what your favorite Pokemon region is. I couldn't fit all of them, obviously. So if you have some other ones, feel free to put them in there. But I think it's a fun question. It's a tricky one for me. I might have to go with Kanto just because it's the OG, and I am a big fan of the originals. But I also like some of the newer ones. Hoenn is one that I've also liked a lot. I've probably played through those games the most, besides maybe Fire Red and Leaf Green. But use Fairy types. Okay, are Fairy pretty helpful against Archer? Because I'm pretty sure he has like the Pokemon that evolves into Grimmsnarl. I think he has like an Impidimp, a Houndoom, and maybe one other Pokemon if I remember correctly. There's a wild Hypno here, which is kind of cool. And then there's that Cyndaquil that we need to go catch finally and use that. But we should be there soon. And then our Quilava as well. We're going to sleep here just because it's getting nighttime. And we still have to be careful because I keep forgetting this is a hardcore challenge. So if we die, we are donezo. And so we got to be careful about that. No worries, Cody. Totally understand. Hopefully you can get that switch too and it'll work out. But let's get ready here. And now I remember that we're coming back. I want to steal this PC that we built. And first let's use it and see what is going to be most useful. So I want to put our shiny Gimmighoul in like a different box here. Because just to keep them separate. Oh, I forgot I do want a Gyarados. But I don't think we'll use it yet. Hippopotas is too high level. I like the idea of using Sandile or Rhyhorn. What do you guys think you'd prefer, Sandile or Rhyhorn? I'm not sure which one I think will be a better investment. I think I like Sandile better, but I'm also a big fan of Rhyperior, so I'd be excited to use either. Shoot, IDK, where are you at? That's unfortunate that it's so much more. I'm thinking I might go with Sandile, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm trying to think who we can replace. Chespin here, I think we might save for later. Teddy Ursa, I think, is a pretty safe bet, as well as Crabrawler. Nidoran will be nice once we can get Nidoking, but before then, probably not super worth it. So I think this is a pretty good team to go with. A little worried to lose one of our shinies, so hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see what happens. We're going to take this and put it back in our base. And we'll have to come back here for all the things in the chest at some point, as we've stored a lot of our things here. But we're just going to have to make a different thing first. Definitely waiting for a holiday sale or something. That's not a bad idea, Cat. I might do the same thing as well. And then looking at our Pokeballs, we don't have a ton. So I might go harvest apricorns on our way back. And I don't think we have a yellow tree yet, so I'll build the yellow one in a little bit, probably in a couple episodes once we have things more established. I'm just going to build an automatic apricorn farm to speed things up so we don't have to worry about coming back and harvesting. But for now, we can grab these. We just want to make sure we have everything we need in case a rare Pokemon spawns. I mean, for now, we've just been putting everything possible in a boat, which has worked, but I'd like to start just catching them rather than putting them in a boat. And we do have blue. I couldn't remember what color apricorns we've had, so I'm glad we've got blue here. Blue and yellow are my favorite combo because that's what you need for quick balls. So we should be able to grow some of those pretty soon, which will be exciting. And then we can come get this quick ball here, which will be awesome. And then we should be able to make plenty of Pokeballs with all of this as well. And we'll definitely need to build a food farm as well because we are running low here. And we could hunt some Pokemon to get it, but I don't think we're really leveled up enough yet to go for Bouffalant, who's my favorite Pokemon to hunt for food and experience. That's a little tip there. If you want to level up your Pokemon to level 100 quickly, grab a fighting type Pokemon, go to Plains biomes. Bouffalant spawns often. He's a high level Pokemon, gives a good amount of XP. And he also gives leather and beef, which is pretty awesome. You can trade leather to villagers at a pretty cheap trade for emeralds, and then beef obviously is an easy food source. And yeah, it'll probably be a little more interesting once we have the farm up so we don't have to spend time doing this. But like we talked about last episode, we're going a little bit behind pace, right? It's day 31. We've only beaten the first gym leader. But I think now that we've gotten a lot of the initial things out of the way, once we build a quick food farm, apricorn farm, and get our house finished, we should be able to cruise along with the gym leaders a lot more quickly. We can just battle and go ahead and get past them rather than having to do all of these simple things. So I think that should be a little bit easier. We'll be able to have better Pokeballs as well, so catching will be easier. And I'm pretty happy with our adventure, though. We were able to get quite a few different kinds of Pokemon. And so if we're able to, I think those will help because unfortunately with, oh, is that another Quilava? Holy cow, that is a third Quilava that we have just come across. At this point, I might just enter into battle and see if we can catch it. I don't know what it is. We are having crazy Quilava luck because this guy just keeps appearing, which is exciting. You know, I'd prefer probably a different starter by now, and because Typhlosion is cool, but he's probably not the most useful. Fuecoco or Charizard would be pretty sweet. Oh, that's awesome. You and a friend ended the whole Bouffalant race, and we needed. Oh shoot, we one-hit KO'd Quilava, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, good XP, except Sandile's at max level. Good thing we have two other Quilavas. I didn't realize we'd one-hit KO him, but that does bode well for us. I think we'll be able to do pretty well there. And there's a carrot that's just sitting on the ground here. Must have been broken by someone, but might as well take that for farming. But I think, yeah, we really need to go and build a chest area just so I can get all this stuff out of my inventory because I'm tired of having my inventory full. And then after we do that, we'll be pretty safe. And I just realized I don't think we have any food on us besides this carrot in my hand. So let's see if there's some stuff in the village. I think there's some hay bales we could probably destroy and use for food really quick before we do everything else. There's some potatoes here. I'll just go turn these into baked potatoes to save time. And then that should give us food for a little bit until we're ready. Hisuian Typhlosion, he beckons you. I agree, Hisuian Typhlosion does beckon me. We're definitely going to add him to the team once we get a little bit more established here. I'm not in a huge rush to get him yet because Misty's our next gym leader, and so he'd obviously get pretty destroyed by Misty. But once we get past Misty, he'll be a lot more helpful, especially as we get into Erica, which is funny because, so besides Brock, Erica is one of the few gym leaders that's like actually their whole type. One of the things that makes the Radical Cobblemon Trainers mod so difficult at times is they have their Pokemon of the gym leaders have several different types rather than in the normal games, you know, it's just one type. So it's a little bit harder to prepare for them. But if I remember right, Erica's one of the ones that's pretty much just grass types, which makes it a little bit easier to prepare for. So we're definitely going to want to use Typhlosion when we battle her. But for Misty, we probably don't want to use Typhlosion. Oh, and there's another yellow apricorn tree here. We won't grab those yet because we are needing to go a little bit more quickly, I think. We've been hanging out and having fun, and we'll continue to do so. But we'll try and go a little bit more quickly on getting ready for gym battles and stuff so that we can hopefully finish this all by 100 days. If not, then if we're still alive, we can go for 200 days and try and become champion. That's the ultimate goal, obviously. But I'm happy that we've survived this far. Oh, and that seemed close. I thought I was falling way farther, but we didn't. We're still alive, so we're good. That would have been an awkward way to die. And we are running low on food. That's the unfortunate thing about hardcore mode as well. Your hunger depletes more quickly, and you can die from hunger. So we're going to want to start cooking these potatoes immediately. And we need to finish this house because it looks so bad. We halfway did it, and then we spun the wheel of doom and went through to do that instead. But I do think we really should finish this house here pretty soon. And I don't know why that's not all in one. Okay, yeah, we're going to go through and start building our farm, our storage area, because we definitely need a place to store stuff. And I'm going to just build it below the base here to save some space because we are not in the most spacious area, and I don't want to take time to build a whole nother thing. So we'll just have a trap door here. I should probably build some ladders so we can get back up. We don't have a ton of sticks. I don't want to use all our bamboo up. So we only need a couple, but we'll want to have enough so that we can get out of there pretty easily. And it is raining, which is my least favorite. And I might go through here for you guys just so you don't have to hear it too much. I'm going to switch off the sounds of rain. Thanks for being here, Chris Theo. I'm glad you're a big fan. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. Hopefully everyone is enjoying it here. I think this is going to be an exciting episode. We're going to hopefully get some of the things done that we've needed to for several episodes. Sorry this is loading forever. Whenever you try and redo a resource pack, it's super slow, and I accidentally clicked on that. So we'll just have an awkward moment here as this comes through. But there we go. Okay, don't click on resource pack. Music and sounds is where we're going. And weather, we're just going to turn off for now. We'll probably turn it back on later, but we don't want that to be too loud here. And then we're going to dig down. I almost forgot already to actually build the ladders. That is the one thing I've noticed as I'm streaming. I definitely get more forgetful. So you guys may need to help remind me of important things so I don't do anything dumb. But we're going to build some ladders here. 6 is probably plenty. And we'll want to make sure the door is closed there. And I'm going to grab some potatoes that are hopefully cooked by now so we don't starve. Oh, and I clicked on the wrong thing there. Let's eat through that. Yeah, and we'll just build a simple storage area below here. And we're going to do decorating more in later episodes in between battles probably. But we want to start being able to get ready to battle. But I think we're going to have to do some of the tidy up world things first. And I think that's probably far enough. And now let's dig out a little area here where we can have some storage. We don't need it to be too big, but we'll decorate this later and make it look nicer, of course. But for now, we just need space. And I do like to sometimes have this to make bases more compact. I can save a little bit on building time early game. Once we get later game, we can dedicate more time to building things that look nice. But for now, it's nice just to get some functionality, have a place to store our things, so that we don't have this full inventory problem that we've been having. And it looks like we're right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks over. I feel like 6 by 6 is probably a pretty good area for now. And so we'll build out 2 more blocks in this direction because we got 4 here, just to make it look uniform. And then we're going to fill in some chests here. And I think I'll get rid of the roof here too so it doesn't feel too cramped. That's one simple thing that can help a lot in Minecraft to make things feel a little bit better, is to expand your roofs and stuff like that to make it a little bit higher. Like I said, building is definitely my weak point in Minecraft, but hopefully throughout this series, as long as we don't die, we'll be able to get better at that. Our first house we decided is going to be a pretty ghetto one, but by the time we get to our second house, we're going to try and make it much nicer. But the first one, we just need a quick starter home to get things done. And we'll definitely have to change this roof here because it looks awful being dirt. But we could... Oh, and I didn't pay attention. We just broke our unbreaking shovel, which is unfortunate. But I guess we're just going to go through and do these last ones with this. I was going to build up one higher so we can have our wood floor, I think is all we need is one more. But we can wait one more turn before we do that probably. And we'll just go get a shovel later and do that. But for now, I just want to throw in a couple chests here so we have some room. Now we'll just put a crafting table so we can craft them. And we'll build as many as we can. For now, it's going to only be 2, but we'll add more. Now, ultimately, I probably want to make them like into the walls, I think would be a cool design. But for now, we might just stack them in the corner here so we have some places to put things. And I want to organize these a little bit. So we're going to make this our Pokemon items chest, I think is a good idea. And then we'll have a couple chests for different materials. I want to make as many as we can because that's one of the big things that I think is important. If you want to save time here playing Minecraft, try and organize your chests. It takes a second at first, but it makes your life so much easier in the long run because otherwise it takes forever to find anything. We'll just start with these 3 here. This one is probably going to be our, let's do this as like a food and items drop chest. We're going to combine a couple for now until we build more. So we'll put our apricorns in here and we'll come back in here in a minute to transfer these into more important things, Pokeballs. But we'll put those there for now. Then we're going to have this other one be our precious materials one. So we'll put copper in there. We'll put plants in here for now so bamboo can go there. And then I'm trying to see, all these things are probably going to want with us at all times. We can put this in here. I'm going to also put our axe in here with silk touch. I don't want to break that until it's ready. And gold can destroy itself a little bit too quickly. Now let's build our ladders to get out of here. And later this episode, hopefully, if we're able to finish all the things we really need to do, we might have time to get some design going. And we're going to need one more ladder here. And it's nighttime, and I have not gone to sleep, which is a little bit dangerous because that means mobs are going to start spawning, but I don't see too many yet. There's a wild Breloom, which would be pretty cool to spawn, but we already have a Shroomish, and Breloom's probably going to be above the level cap, so I don't know that we need that yet. Let's see what's in here. We've got all sorts of stuff, and we do have our gilded chests, so we're going to transfer those as well, and we're going to try and just build out as much as possible here into this chest so we can have our lives a little bit more organized. And okay, and then we'll come back the third round and finish that chest off. Then we'll get the other one later. Sort of a random question, but what inspired you to make this channel? Oh, long story actually. So when I was a senior in high school, I had a math class. Well, the way it happened, I was in some kind of long story short, but I had taken some advanced math classes and gotten a little bit ahead to where the only class I could take my senior year was AP statistics or some lower level math classes. But I ended up, there was a special class in my school where you could do a competition called We the People, which is like AP US history, but then you also will have debates about like the Constitution and stuff. And I thought it sounded like an interesting class, so I wanted to sign up for that. But it was the same period as the only period that offered AP statistics. And so I couldn't take stats, and I had to just take like a lower level math class. And so the math was pretty easy for me, and I had gotten kind of bored. But I had some friends in there, and so we all started playing Minecraft together. And when we finished our homework, and I joked that we should all start Minecraft channels and build them together. And so we all did. So if you actually look back, if you're curious, at my very first videos, you can just go into my channel and click oldest. You'll see we started a little like server on Minecraft Pocket Edition together called Flamingo Craft. And so we all started that together, and then within like one episode, all of them got tired of making videos and quit, besides me. But I had found out that I actually kind of enjoyed it, and I wanted to see if I could get bigger. And one of the big things that we talked about, we made our group chat was called Go for the Silver Play button, right? Which, for those of you who don't know, when you get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, they give you a silver play button, which is this really cool thing you can hang up in your, house or apartment or whatever. And so I had kind of gotten committed to that goal of like, oh, I want to do that then. And so I've just kept going, and that's the goal, to hit 100,000 subscribers. And so I went on a mission for my church right after high school, and so I was gone for 2 years. And so I had scheduled some videos to post during that time, but not a lot of traction happened. Then I got home, I've been at college, didn't make videos for a little while. And then I finally started getting back into it, and the videos have started to do a lot better. I found Cobblemon and thought it was kind of a niche area that was growing, and I could do pretty well, and it kind of combined a lot of things I like. And so there we are today. That's kind of the short story, Cody. There's more to it, but that's kind of the main thing. Hopefully that answers your question. IDK, do I intend to open a Cobblemon server? I think so. Timeline-wise, I don't know. It would probably be at least not until after this series is over. But I do think that could be a fun thing to do. That would be good for everyone. So probably someday I will open a Minecraft Cobblemon server. Not anytime soon, though. Pinguino, glad you love the vids. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in as well. It means a lot to me. Obviously, I couldn't do this without you guys. So I really do appreciate it. And let's move this torch a little bit higher. So this is ugly, but for now it at least allows us to store some things until we're ready to use it, and we'll make this prettier later. But we've got pretty good storage now, and at this point what I'm thinking is let's go get the rest of this food, but let's train up because I want to be able to fight Archer hopefully before the end of the episode. Like we announced last week, we're going to do 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time every week for these videos or this live stream. And so just stick around for that. That's going to be the plan. And so we've got about 40 minutes left here on today's episode. And so hopefully we'll be able to beat Archer before the end of the episode. And interesting, I might switch out Teddy Ursa. He actually doesn't have very many good moves right now. Let's see if we've got anyone better in the PC. And I think I'll just carry the PC with us so we can use it more easily. Let's see, Rhyhorn could maybe do better. Or maybe we'll put... Actually, we're going to have to fight Misty anyways, so maybe I'll bring him back. You know that age-old question, which do you like more, hippos or giraffes? Which is it for you? It's hippo for you. Interesting. I'm probably going to go giraffes, actually. Hippos, I don't know if you guys have seen hippos in real life, but they're terrifying. Hippos are actually like one of the most dangerous animals on Earth. And... so I don't know that I would... They seem like pretty chill and just like chunky, but they're actually super dangerous and aggressive. And so, yeah, hippos probably not my top, but I support you in liking hippos. Too bad they don't have like a... I guess I was about to say they don't have a hippo Pokemon, but we literally have Hippopotas in our party. So they definitely do have one. And I do think Hippopotas is pretty cool, and I think hippos look cool. But, yeah, probably not my favorite animals. But I guess everybody else, feel free to answer that. What's your favorite hippo or giraffe? I have seen, though, hippos... If you guys haven't seen giraffes' tongues are crazy. They're like dark purple and super long. So if you guys are interested in that, if you haven't seen a giraffe's tongue, I invite you to Google that. You will not be disappointed. Giraffes' tongues are pretty hilarious. And we're probably just going to go around and fight a few crabbies here. I would like to get Tyrogue into a Hitmonchan as my goal, but I'm not sure exactly how that works. I can't remember how you decide if you get Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, or Hitmontop. If anyone in here knows, that would be awesome. If you could comment down below how we can make sure he goes into... Oh, he has like no good moves on him. Okay, we'll use Fake Out and then switch. Let me know if you know how to evolve Tyrogue into Hitmonchan. I thought it was with your EVs, but I don't know if it's IVs or Natures. So if someone wants to Google that, that would be awesome. I would appreciate that. What type should Arceus be for general use cases? Any movesets to recommend? For some reason, Arceus can't learn Judgment, though. That's an interesting question. I haven't used Arceus a ton. I would say general tip is... I think normal is honestly pretty good. because normal has some of the fewest weaknesses, right? He'll only be weak to fighting. And then he can learn so many different moves that the coverage is great. Really kind of depends your goal, though. Competitive battling, if you guys have watched this for long, you'll know is not my strong suit, as Brock destroyed us. So I don't know that I know the best moveset for Arceus, but I would say normal type's probably the safest. Oh, what did he just use to heal? Did he use... I think he might have used Roost. We are, for some reason, it is taking us forever to knock out this Ladybug. Yeah, we may have to switch to another Pokemon because I'm getting a little bit bored waiting for him. Make his attack higher. Okay, I thought that was what it was. Just attack EV is going to get Tyrogue able to evolve into Hitmonchan. That is kind of the goal. Let's see if anyone might be able to do this more quickly. I don't know if we have any good moves against Ladybug, which is kind of embarrassing. But Shroomish, we can go for a leech and it'll be good. You need both EV and IV. Interesting. So they both have to be attack-based IDK. I cannot remember. I have not used a Tyrogue in a Pokemon game in forever. But I do think Hitmonchan would be awesome, especially because it has all the elemental punches. I think will be really useful, especially for our challenge. With all the different types we're going to be facing, I think that would be really helpful. Ladybug is Mach Punch. That's kind of cool. I'm almost tempted to catch this Ladybug after it's been giving me so much trouble. More defense for Hitmonchan. Or no. Well, one of them is going to be... Oh my gosh, it healed again. First time joining Pocketcraft Live. Love the channel. No worries, totally understand. I know some of you guys are younger. That's totally okay if you can't become a member. But I appreciate all those you do, and I appreciate your support for being here. So thanks for being Orchid. Glad you're liking it. Hitmonchan, you need more defense. Okay. Now we got to figure out which Pokemon give defense IVs. And this has been the longest battle I have ever had. But Reflect just wore off, which I think should make us do more damage, except he just protected against it again. Holy crap. Alright. As long as he doesn't use Roost, and he does use Roost. Alright, I think we're just going to run from this Ladybug. He has deserved to live. And we don't have any Pokemon with flying type moves, so it's going to take us forever to take it out. Not worth the XP that we would get from it. But I think there was a Pidgey there, which a couple of our Pokemon have rollout. And we have to run so far away. I do like how Cobblemon's interactive and makes you actually run, but it also makes it take so long to end a battle. But here's a Krabby, which is an easy one for us to train against. And well, we might as well get Shroomish up to level 21 as we're ready. Another question, which Pokemon are best for traveling, like fast flyers and swimmers? That's a great question. I think all of them actually initially start with the same speed modifier, so they're like the same speed. I like using, like Dragonite, Charizard, or Aerodactyl. I think are just fun ones to fly on. And I think Gyarados or Lapras are fun to swim on. But there's actually a way you can edit the config file so that Pokemon move more quickly in the Cobblemon Rider mod. And I think tomorrow I'm actually uploading a video. It's already been recorded, but tomorrow a video will upload, and it'll actually explain exactly how to do that, Pinguino. And it'll show you how you can make your Pokemon move more quickly. So just wait for that. Tomorrow it'll explain. It's kind of hard to explain without seeing it. It's definitely a visual thing. But that would probably be my suggestion. And let's see. Yeah, so he's Hitmonlee right now. And his attack is higher, so we have to get his defense higher. Anyone want to look up what Pokemon yield defense EVs around here? Ooh, I would kind of like a Ninjask for False Swipe. I feel like maybe like Kakuna would yield a defense EV. Let's see if Tyrogue can learn any better moves, though, because his moves kind of suck. And just Tackle, which is unfortunate. Foresight doesn't really do much. So, yeah, Tyrogue is not going to do much until we evolve him. So we might as well start it. You need to use an Iron Vitamin to get higher defense EV. Yeah, Iron Vitamin will work. It'll take a while to find one of those and craft one. So we could just instead, rather than waiting for that, if we just find enough Pokemon with defense EV yields, we can up it rather than having to craft. But that might take too long. We'll see. Do I have the Cobb breeding mod? I do believe that is enabled. I think I'm playing with that one on here. And so that's true. We could breed for a different Tyrogue to get a Hitmonchan later on if we want. And I'm not too attached to it. Hitmonlee is pretty good too, so we could use Hitmonlee, but I think Hitmonchan would be more useful overall. So I'm hoping for that. And I should have looked at the EVs for Tyrogue, what he's at right now. I'm not sure if this is going up or not. Don't use the Cobblemon Rider mod, but the Cobblemon Ride On mod would be the same. It's probably similar. I've never used the Ride On mod. I use Cobblemon Rider. So you could switch to Cobblemon Rider, or if you enjoy using the Ride On mod, then I'm sure it's a similar process. You just have to look in the config file. So I'd watch the video tomorrow and see, and I bet you can figure out something similar. Would be my best guess. Let's see. I should have checked his EVs. Okay, we did get defense EVs from that, it looks like. Now, it took a little while, but that's probably our best shot. Worst case scenario, if we get to level 21 and we're not at the point where it's going to be, oh, we don't have a healing machine. Forgot about that. Shoot. Yeah, I forgot how expensive healing machines are with the new update. So we are not going to be using too much Tyrogue then here. And we may end up just evolving him into Hitmonlee. But let's see. Krabby's good for training all of our grass Pokemon. So we might just fight a bunch of Krabby here. Pichu could be cool to get a Pikachu, but it'll take forever to raise its friendship. So I don't think it's really worth it yet. And let's just switch out here. Make sure you update the Rider mod. The older versions don't work with Mega Showdown. Yeah, you'll want to make sure you keep it up to date. Oh, this is a level 25 Krabby. Okay, I should be careful, actually. Yeah, so you want to make sure it's up to date. That's true. Oh, well, I just realized this is probably going to raise Tyrogue's attack EV, because I think Krabby's an attack EV yield. So we're probably just going to go with Hitmonlee, and I think that's fine, and we can switch to it later. Can you be protected from Leech Seed? I guess you can. Okay, hopefully he stops using Protect here in a minute, or that's going to be a little bit annoying. Okay, it looks like we did land it, so we'll go for an Absorb here. Yeah, I should have been using Mega Showdown. We don't have that on this one. It started to become popular like right after we started this series. So I think for my next Let's Play series, we'll use it. I think after Cobblemon comes out with another update or two, I might make a new survival guide series, because there's been so many updates. And when I first started the survival guide series, I didn't have the best recording equipment, so the videos are a little bit lower quality. So we may want to do that in a little bit. And you know what? I think let's go for Hitmonlee. We just need a Pokemon that can do a little bit more damage, so we're going to go for it. Yeah, I've heard Mega Showdown has all the forms, so we'll definitely have to try it out. I think we're a little late into this series to change, but for the next one, we'll definitely go for it. There we go. He does learn some moves now, which is awesome. That's what we needed. Wow, he learns a lot of moves on evolution. Okay, we're going to figure out what's best here. Jump Kick is awesome, but it has recoil if we miss, and the recoil is a lot if I remember right. Revenge only is helpful if our Pokemon attack move with power is doubled if the user has been hurt by the opponent in the same turn. How fast are we? We're alright, but actually there are a lot of fast Pokemon that will battle. And I feel like, what's Rolling Kick? Okay, Rolling Kick isn't really necessary. I like Brick Break, because they can break through screens, which is nice. But I think we'll go for Sucker Punch. The mic sounds weird. Is it because I'm too close? I did lean in there, so I wonder if that did it. Let me know if it... Okay, fixed. Sweet. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, let me know if anything sounds weird. I do mess things up occasionally, so that's good to know. I'm definitely not the best videographer. That is something we're working on here, which I don't even know if you count this as videography since it's just screen recording. But okay, I guess it's not nighttime. It looks pretty nighttime, but I guess it's just the rain. Oh, okay. I think apparently when we move, I think that damages our Pokemon. Ooh, do we have any berries? We don't have any berries. Okay, we're gonna have to wait till we can sleep and we can't move, or Hitmonlee's gonna die. Oh, better idea. We'll just put him in PC. Oh, did it faint? No way. Oh my gosh. I think Hitmonlee just fainted from poison. Oh, we were a moment too late. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Well, I can't believe that. That's how we just lost a Pokemon in our Nuzlocke. That's the most embarrassing loss we've had. And I was pretty excited about Hitmonlee. I thought that was going to be a really useful Pokemon. But I guess we're going to have to switch there. We could use Rhyhorn. I might just train up a Gyarados. But there might even be a a higher level Magikarp. I bet we can find one in the water in like 2 seconds. It really looks like nighttime, so we'll check, but it's not. There's a Mareanie here. Toxapex could be a pretty baller Pokemon to have on our team. That was definitely the most embarrassing loss we've had so far. So this is quite the playthrough. 24, that's too high. I thought I saw 2, but I guess there's only 1. So we won't go for Mareanie right now, but I think we could probably find a higher level Magikarp. Get a little bit closer to evolving into Gyarados would be ideal. If we just walk near the water here, there's one right there. Let's see what level it is. Because I do think Gyarados is kind of a beast. That would be awesome. Oh, good use of the emoji there, Cat. That's pretty sweet. Level 17. Awesome. That's what I was hoping for. That's much better. And I won't want to do too much damage to it so we don't knock it out. If you get to... There's a strategy to get 1.5% Dratini. Are you talking about going deep into caves? Or what? That's one of the best ways I've seen to get one. Get a Fortress. Fortress could be a pretty good Pokemon to use for this challenge. That is one I should look for. I'm excited to use Gyarados. I think Gyarados is a useful one against a lot of people. And it can even outmaneuver a lot of water Pokemon. So I think it'll do pretty well against Misty. Submerged in water. We could go for a Dive Ball. I don't know that it's necessary super because Magikarp doesn't have a very low catch rate. It's a pretty easy one to catch, but Dive Ball could be kind of fun. And I do like that they included these little rafts now. I think that makes it a lot more immersive when you're fighting water Pokemon. And there we did. We definitely caught it, so that's sweet. Okay, Habenberry and fish at negative coordinates in a cave while it's dark with a fishing rod and luck of the sea. It'll be 1.5 fish rate. Awesome. That's a great tip. Thank you for sharing that, IDK. I know I've seen, even just in normal caves, if you find caves with like water in them below Y level 32, or I think negative 32 or whatever it is, you can check the exact coordinate on the wiki. I know it's a lot easier to get Magikarp. Okay, and we got him here. Now we should just be able to switch train and get him up. We've been training slowly, so let's focus a little bit more. We got distracted with accidentally killing our Hitmonlee, which was pretty sad. But I think we're just going to go for Krabbies all the way. And they haven't given us too much trouble. This one is level 26, which is a little bit scary, but I think we should be safe. Let's try and get Jake up here. Ooh, he did use Stomp, which did kind of a lot, but we can switch into Shroomish if we need to. Let's see how much Razor Leaf does. Okay, Mudshot does like nothing to us. And Razor Leaf should hopefully do a good amount of damage. We'll hit him with one more. And then if we need to, we can switch into Shroomish. And I think we should be safe. Oh, we miss, which is not good. Okay, Stomp could knock us out if he crits. Okay, we lived, which is good. And so we're just going to switch back into a different Pokemon here. We're going to have to do a lot of switch training, but we'll go into Shroomish. He should be able to live fine. Do I have the Pokenav mod? I do have the Pokenav mod. So, oh, holy crap. Stomp did way more than I expected. We don't want to lose Shroomish. So this is dangerous. Crap. I probably shouldn't have fought a Pokemon this high level. Let's hope he gets stopped by Paralysis here. And Crabrawler can get a hit off. I figured he might be able to take it the best. And he faints. Holy crap. Alright, we're not doing well, guys. Chat, we need to lock in. We are getting demolished, even by wild Pokemon now. And Chespin is our lowest level, so he might get knocked out here too. Luckily, we do have the rule. We can only lose a max of one Pokemon per battle, but we take out Krabby. I cannot believe we just lost another Pokemon, and Crabrawler was one of our most useful, so that kind of sucks. But I guess we're just reforming the team. So let's switch out here and see what we can use. We're going to have to add to the Faint box again. I can't believe we have another one this episode, and we haven't even fought Archer yet. We are struggling, but that's okay. Rhyhorn I think would be fun, but I don't think it's really his time yet. I might catch a different Pokemon and use him on our team before we use any of these. I don't know that any of these will be super useful for our challenge. But let me know what you guys think. I'm not sure what would be most useful. We could almost even catch. There's a couple Pokemon around. But on the bright side, because we have been getting wrecked so far this episode, we can evolve one of our Pokemon, Chespin, which is huge. And you know, there's a Pidgey here. Maybe we just go classic Kanto early gym leaders and grab ourselves a Pidgey. You know, it's not the strongest Pokemon, but we could fly on a Pidgeot. It could be pretty fast, and flying is a useful type, so that could be pretty sweet. But we do have Colot in here, which is awesome. That is a strong Pokemon, and it learns Leech Seed now, which is huge for us. Leech Seed, I think, is one of the most useful moves in these Nuzlocks, and just against the Radical Red mod in general. And where did that Pidgey go? What level is it? I kind of want to use it. Level 22, just above the level cap. Shoot. Pachirisu, we could use an electric type just above the level cap again. Pidgey level 24. Diggersby, what level is this? It's not shown. Level 22. And we got to be careful about fighting Pokemon over our level, because we did that a little bit too much and things did not go well. Yeah, all these Pokemon are a little above our pay grade right here. Love your channel and Cobblemon videos. They've helped you out a lot. Awesome. I'm glad they've helped out. I really appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. I think that's obviously my big goal, is I want to help people to learn Cobblemon more and learn things. As you can tell, competitive battling is not my strong suit, but I do like sharing tips and tricks about the game, and so that's kind of the main reason to tune in. But this is also fun, and you know, I have never used a Pachirisu before. Maybe we'll try it out. I don't even know if Pachirisu is good, but an electric type Pokemon could be pretty useful against some of the trainers we're going to be fighting, especially Misty. So we might as well go for it. Let's see what Needle Arm does. It's going to use Endure, which is nice. I didn't want to go into our Sandile because I don't want to knock it out. And let's just go for Needle Arm again, maybe one more time, and then we can try and catch it. And then looks like our chat is going to might die here in a second, so I might miss your questions. We're at 5% on the device I use to monitor the chat, so chat might go a little bit before, but I'll still be here chatting with you guys. I can go and grab a charger real fast, so I'll be right back. Alright, we're back here. I think we can handle one more Needle Arm on Pachirisu before it gets knocked out. And then we'll plug this in so we don't lose that function. Should have probably charged this beforehand, but you live and you learn. And we got 26% left here. Let's throw... I want to get rid of these balls so we can condense a little bit. So I think we're going to go for this Verdant Ball. And I don't think I've even seen... the next challenger show up. I think the next one we have to fight is Rocket Archon, and then I think we also have to fight Rival Terry. So they're both going to be ones we're going for. We did just catch Pachirisu. Let's see what moves it has. It would be funny if a creeper came while I was away. That would wreck me. That would have been pretty hilarious. Definitely glad that didn't happen. That would have been pretty funny though. That's true. We could teach ourselves... we have Hyper Fang. That's pretty sweet. That's actually a very good move. We'll definitely put Hyper Fang on here. And then Endure is kind of useful, but I might switch for Quick Attack. I think is more useful. Ooh, Pillagers. We definitely want to stay away from those. We are not ready to take on Pillagers. Hopefully they haven't seen us. We're going to run away. And we really need to craft a healing machine so we don't have to keep going back to the village, but... that is going to be what we're going to have to do for now. Let's get Grotto to level 21, and we're just going to try and get each Pokemon there as quick as we can. What do I use to monitor the chat? I just use my iPad off to the side. I could use a second... oh, shoot. I accidentally just entered into battle. Didn't mean to do that, but luckily, apparently, Rival Terry has low-level Pokemon, so we should be fine, but that was close. I meant to eat a potato, and I was looking at chat, so I didn't even realize he was right there. But yeah, I just wrote it on the iPad. There are other ways to do it, but I've found that works fine for me. Terry's got a Charmander, which is pretty sweet. I would love to catch a Charmander and have a Charizard on our team. I think that's definitely one of the top Pokemon I'd like to catch this series. We found a lot of fire starters, but we haven't found Charmander yet, unfortunately. But he doesn't spawn around here, so That would be why. We don't get a lot of experience from that because it was low level, but that's all right. Lechonk is probably not too hard of a Pokemon to take down. Hopefully this Kingler isn't attacking us. Okay. Every time it runs around, I get a little bit scared because we are not totally equipped to fight that. Because we are playing with Fight or Flight, and we haven't been attacked by too many Pokemon yet, which is good. But I think as the Pokemon get higher level, we will get attacked more, and that is something to be a little bit scared about. Did I use the Focus Sash? Oh, Lechonk stole my Focus Sash. Well, that's pretty rude. I wonder. Hopefully, I get that back after. I don't know if I do. If not, Lechonk is a thief, and that is unfortunate. But we should be able to knock it out here pretty soon. Get Jake up to level 21, and then hopefully we can get Magikarp up here pretty quickly as well. Vita, Potato, Battle Trainer, same thing. Exactly, same difference. They work together. Definitely not, but close enough. Okay, we do. Yeah, we just need to get our Pokemon leveled up, but I do think we're gonna have to go to the healing machine because all the ones that we need to train are pretty injured. So we got or have status effects. So we're gonna have to go back to the village. Hopefully those pillagers are gone and they're not attacking the village because I do not want to start a village raid right now. I think that is a pretty good way for us to die. But I don't see him anymore, so that is awesome. Friendly coach, HP. That's awesome. I wonder if they have each coach EV train something different. That would be sweet. Okay, looks like on the right of the map, the pillagers are still here. So we're just going to try and make a wide circle around them so we don't get attacked by them. There's a Geodude here, which could be a fun Pokemon to use again, but I think we're going to keep our Sandile for now. And then we've got our Rhydon in the back, I think is going to be a really good Pokemon for us to use later on. Okay, I think we've probably gone up high enough, so we'll start going over to the side as well. Try and get into the village, use the healing machine, train up a little bit more. We got a different kind of berry here, which is awesome. We're going to want to collect berries as much as we can. They'll be really useful to use later on. We can start mining for EV training items and stuff that'll hopefully make us battle a little bit better because we have been choking quite a bit with this Nuzlocke challenge. We are definitely not killing it, but that's okay. We're having a good time. And we have had a lot of shiny luck, which is sweet. I am excited about our shiny Gimmighoul and shiny Teddiursa. And so I'm going to wait a little bit to use them until we can level them up more highly. And I'm going to try and get as many relic coins as I can so we can hopefully get ourselves a shiny Gholdengo. I think would be sick. While we're here, we should take some of the items from this chest to start transferring them over to our storage system there, because we do have quite a few useful things in here. Some of it is more useful than others, but we've got all sorts of nature mint seeds that we should start growing. I think once we're ready to battle, we'll just start farming until our opponent shows up. I think it's going to be our best bet. And I might want to train over here for a little bit. It's probably safer, just because we can use the healing machine. There's a couple of Lechonks here, which is an easy one, so we'll probably just do that again. Once we get Gyarados evolved, I think he'll be a useful one to help. Right now our types are somewhat limited. But we'll go into Quilladin, get him to 21, then Pachirisu and Gyarados, and we should be in a pretty good spot. And Needle Arm, I think, should do the most damage here. We've got about 10 minutes left. Hopefully we should be able to fight Archer. If not, we'll be ready for him at the very beginning of next episode for sure. And that should be pretty sweet. Looks like in the vote, Kanto is winning with Sinnoh and Hoenn as close second and third, which is, I think is kind of what I expected. Johto, I think a lot of people like the Johto games, but Johto alone without the other, without all the Kanto stuff that's in it, I think was not as exciting. That is my personal opinion, but I think the Johto legendaries are two of the coolest. I really like Feraligatr too. I think he's one of my favorite starter Pokemon. But besides that, I think the EV evolutions that they add are pretty sweet. Umbreon and Espeon, I think, are two of the best evolutions for sure. And I'm trying to see level 18. Okay, I don't want to fight something too high level. We made that mistake earlier and lost a Pokemon, so I do not want to do that again. Let's switch into Quilladin here for Yungoos. I think it's going to be our strategy. We'll just switch train to get Magikarp to level 20 and Quilladin to level 21, and then we'll do the same thing with our our other Pokemon after. So we're getting close. You voted Sinnoh. Cody, Sinnoh is a solid one. I definitely like a lot of Sinnoh Pokemon. Luxray, I think, is sweet. I like the Sinnoh games a lot. I think are pretty fun. Their legendaries, I think, are also some of the coolest. They've got really good starters as well. Turtwig is one of my favorite of all time, as you can tell by the shiny one we have here. Okay, Magikarp and him are almost leveled up. We just learned Seed Bomb, which I think is a pretty good move as well. We should check it. I can't remember its stats. I don't know if it'll be better than Needle Arm or not, but we can check that out here. And Seed Bomb does have a higher one, and it looks like it is physical, so it's probably better overall. User slams, yeah. All right, I guess we'll switch to Seed Bomb then. Needle Arm I did like, but I do think that Seed Bomb's going to be better overall. Yeah, there are so many different moves in Pokemon now, and then they are adding all sorts of specialty moves that it gets pretty tricky to remember them all. I don't want to be too close to the village, though, because we do tend to glitch out a little bit when we're close to the village, I think, because of all the entities moving around. But there's a Krabby there, which we had some bad luck with one earlier. Let's see what level this one is. Yeah, 25, I think is a little bit too risky. We should learn from our mistakes. But there's a Lechonk over here, and that is one that has proven to be an easy training partner. So we'll go there. I'm excited for when we beat a couple gyms and our Pokemon get more high level. It's a lot easier to train. You can just fight Bouffalant, and once you're higher level and everything, it's not as dangerous as it's been here. But right now, where all the Pokemon pretty much we find are higher level than ours, we have to be really careful about who we fight, so we don't lose our Pokemon like we did to wild Pokemon, which is a pretty embarrassing way to go out. We do still need to go catch that Dartrix. Yeah, we've got a lot of Pokemon we need to go catch. So I think after this episode, we should be able to catch those Pokemon. Oh, and he's going for Dig, which is kind of unfortunate. We should be able to catch those Pokemon and then also get ready and start farming some things. I think it's probably going to be the next episodes. And hopefully next episode we can take on Misty as well if we're able to beat Archer in this one. But we'll see. I think I always get too ambitious about what to accomplish in one episode, and then an hour goes by pretty quickly. But we're having a good time, so that's all right. There's a Lanoon over here, which could be a pretty good one to battle. Baniri, I think we could probably handle Baniri. Let's see what level Lanoon is, though. 23, and Baniri's 24. I think Baniri we can hopefully take. Let's see. I don't know if it'll have a fighting move or not. I might switch into Shroomish first, even though it's going to spread out the XP, which isn't great. But I'd like to just land a Leech Seed, and then Shroomish has the ability of Effect Spore, which is really nice because it does some extra damage, or it can get them poisoned and stuff. But so far, Baniri hasn't even used an attacking move yet, so I think we're just going to switch into Quilladin. That probably wasn't necessary. And of course, when we switch, it does do Double Kick, but it didn't do too much damage, so I'm not too worried. Let's see what Kukadak does here. Again, not too much, so Leech Seed should go back against it. Yeah, Dartrix has been waiting for 35 days sitting under a tree. That is true, Cody. I think first thing next episode, we got to fix that. Poor Dartrix has just been waiting forever to join the team, and we have not rescued him yet. What's my favorite style of food? Chinese, Indian, Chinese is your favorite? That is a really good question, Ethan. I'm not sure I know what my favorite style is. I kind of like everything. Chinese is pretty good. I think Italian might be my favorite. You know, pizza and pasta I think are pretty hard to beat. But I do like Indian and Chinese as well. And we do have Magikarp evolving here, which is awesome. I think Gyarados is going to be a great addition to the team. And it looks sweet. It's too bad we don't have one of the Gyarados jump forms. But I am pretty happy with this here. We got Ice Fang, which is awesome. And let's teach him Brine is a pretty good water move. Dragon Rage is nice just for the damage. Somehow we're already out of PP of Ice Fang, which doesn't really make sense. But that's all right. And we're just going to get these guys up to their final level. All we have left is Pachirisu and Gyarados. And Gyarados can battle for himself now, which is pretty nice. I would prefer to use Ice Fang against this Lanoon, but let's see exactly how well Gyarados does. I was a little bit worried, but I think we might be able to take Lanoon. Let's try Brine. Lanoon's just using Rest, so that's nice. And hopefully, okay, we don't do as much as I was hoping. Let's see if Dragon Rage might do more at this point. It really depends how much health he has. He doesn't do too much with Headbutt, which is nice. Oh, and Dragon Rage does way more. Okay, that's good to know with how much HP a level 23 Pokemon has right now. Dragon Rage might be a good way to sweep through a lot of Archer's team. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. That could be a really good way. Ooh, and we just learned Waterfall, which is a very powerful water move, especially this early in the game. So Gyarados is ready. All we got to do is get Pachirisu up to level, and we should be ready to take on Archer, which is awesome. So we should be ready right as this episode starts. Next episode, we'll be ready to take him on. And let's see, hopefully a water Pokemon can spawn here. Crabrawler, ooh, level 26 is pretty high for us. There's a Talo over here. That's a good one we could take with Pachirisu. We are pretty set. I do like our typing, though, for Misty. We'll obviously switch Sandile out when we do battle Misty for something else. But besides that, I think our Pokemon are pretty well suited for Misty. Level 20 Talo is perfect for us. We'll use Spark here. Hopefully his evasiveness doesn't go too high. I hate it when Pokemon use double team. But we do one-hit KO, which is sweet. What I'm hoping is, and I haven't even looked at Pachirisu's stats, but I'm hoping since it's a first evolution Pokemon, or no evolution Pokemon, its stats will be a little bit higher. And so I think late game it's probably not as great, but early game it's probably a pretty good addition to the team, is what I'm hoping. But I haven't actually looked at its stats, so I could be totally wrong. And I don't know enough about Pachirisu to know right offhand. And let's just fight whatever is near here that's not too high level. So Weedle won't give as much XP, but it'll be an easy KO. So we might as well just go for it. We probably could have used Hyper Fang. Might have done more damage, but that's all right. I just hope we don't get poisoned. That's what took out Hitmonlee. And I still can't believe we lost Hitmonlee to poison just because we didn't go heal him quickly enough. That was dumb on my part. I will have to be more careful later on. Too bad we can't fight a chicken. I feel like we'd be pretty ready there. There's a Kakuna. Might give more XP since it's a second level Pokemon. And hopefully a high level, and it'll be easy win. Level 19, not as high as I was hoping. Let's go for Hyper Fang, I think. Doesn't actually do that much. Let's see how much Spark does. I think Spark is it looks like it's maybe a physical move instead of a special move. So Harden will reduce its effectiveness. And Kakuna is, I guess, what took out Hitmonlee because of its poison sting. So we should be careful, but we're close enough to a healing machine. We should be fine even if we get poisoned. And we haven't yet, so we should be good. I do like having Hyper Fang. I think that's pretty sweet. I think it'll be useful. It's nice to have a powerful normal move in case you can run across Pokemon that resists your typing. And do we get to level 20? Okay. We just need one level on Pachirisu, and then we're ready for Archer. And so there's a Pidove over here, which should be an easy Pokemon to take down. And I'm excited. Like I said, I've never used Pachirisu before, so I think that'll be a fun Pokemon to use against Misty. Assuming we don't lose it. I don't know. Every time I say a Pokemon's fun to use, we get it lost. So we do got to be careful about that. But I think we should be pretty good. Wow, that was a brutal sounding quick attack, but it did not do very much damage, but the sound is intense. Oh, we just got to move. We don't actually have any broom, but I don't even know if, yeah, we were rid of that. I don't even know what Feather Dance does, but let's see. I can't remember if it's useful or not. Not very useful. All right, we should have, none of those moves are very good though, but I do like how the TM mod randomly gives us TMs from Pokemon we knock out. I think that's a pretty fun feature. This might be a little bit dangerous to fight Gislemoon. We'll go with Nuzzle first to paralyze it. And we might switch train here just out of fear. I think we're going to go into Gyarados. I want to be careful here. You know, a headbutt, that was critical hit, could have maybe taken us. And so I think it's better just to be safe here and make sure we don't lose one of our Pokemon. Because this headbutt does do a lot of damage. That might have taken out Pachirisu. And yeah, I don't want to go through the work of training a whole nother Pokemon up to level 21. There we go. Pachirisu's there, and it learns Swift, which is a pretty useful Pokemon if we come up against anyone that's using Fly or something. Maybe we'll switch out Quick Attack. I don't know if that's a good move or not. But I like having Nuzzle just so we can paralyze Pokemon. But let's go heal up and then get back to home base, and we can start working on around there next episode as we get ready to take down Archer, and we'll just wait for him to spawn in. He spawned in a ton when we were on our adventure, actually. So hopefully he comes in around here too. And then next episode, we got to go catch all of our Pokemon that we've been waiting to catch as well. And then I probably should start getting the materials to build our own healing machine too. Because we got to stop having to run back here. Especially when we start building our bigger base, which we probably won't do for a while considering we haven't even finished our own house yet. Before the stream ends, you'd love to say that the time for new stream is great. Awesome. I'm glad this time is better for you. Yeah, I totally didn't realize how many of you lived back east. And so I'm glad that we switched the time here, that this is more useful for you. I think it's better for me as well. And so I'm glad it's earlier so you don't have to stay up late. But I do appreciate you always tuning in, whether it was early or late. I appreciate the dedication. And I appreciate all you guys coming in, whatever time it is. We do got to get that Dartrix next episode, though. I do feel bad making him sit there for so long. And we're just going to run back here. Hopefully we can get there before night falls and we get many mobs spawning around here. We really haven't had to fight like any mobs this series. We've been pretty lucky. I think we've killed like one zombie, and that's like it. And so we've been pretty careful, but let's be careful. It's 4 a.m. for you, IDK. Holy cow. Wow. Well, that is nuts. Thank you for tuning in at 4 a.m. If you need to watch the recordings later on, that's okay, because I definitely want to make sure you get enough sleep. But thank you for the dedication. That's pretty wild. I guess you did say you live in a different country, so that makes sense. But that's pretty brutal, man. But thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you can get some sleep after this. 9 a.m. for me, perfect before work starts. Oh, wow, awesome. So whoa, I fell in water while I was not paying attention. I was definitely looking at chat. 9 a.m. for you. I didn't realize how many of you were all around different parts of the world. That's pretty sweet. It's cool that we've got people from all over. And 9 a.m., I'm glad we got it before work starts. That makes sense why you were at work, because I was confused last time you said you were at work, and I was like, wow, are you working at like 8 o'clock at night? That sounds pretty brutal, but 9 a.m. makes a lot more sense. That's when I start work as well, and I think most people. So glad we can get in before work, and I appreciate you tuning in the mornings. I know mornings can be busy, so I appreciate all you guys making the time to come in here. And we'll get some rest here. And it is a 4 a.m. dedication. Yeah, 4 a.m. I think IDK wins the dedication biggest Pocketcraft fan award, because I don't know that even I would wake up at 4 a.m. to watch my own videos. So I appreciate you doing that. Appreciate you guys all being here. That'll be it for this video, but we got a lot done. We're ready to take on Archer next video, and we're going to start making some progress again. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you all next time.